So today, we're going to dig into the story of a project that, let's be honest, most people had written off for dead. This is Jasmy, a Japanese crypto project that is attempting one of the biggest comebacks you'll ever see. Their bet is huge. It's on the future of our data, our digital identity, and the whole Internet of Things. Let's get into this incredible story.
I mean, just look at that number. You are seeing that correctly. A 99% drop from its all-time high. This wasn't a dip, okay? This was a near total collapse, a nosedive that almost completely erased the project from existence. Just a staggering fall from grace.
And this really says it all, doesn't it? For pretty much any other project out there, a crash of this magnitude is a death sentence. It's game over, lights out. But for Jasmy, well, this was somehow just the beginning of a whole new chapter.
So this isn't just a story about a collapse. It's really about what comes after. It's a high-stakes comeback story, a massive bet on the future of our digital identity. So the big question is, how on earth do you even begin to climb out of a hole that deep? To really get what's happening now, we've got to hit rewind. We need to go back to the beginning to understand what Jasmy originally promised, that big vision that got so much attention in the first place.
So what was this original dream that got everybody so hyped? Well, at its core, it was a really powerful, really simple idea. You should be in complete control of your own data.
The heart of the entire project was this idea of a personal data locker. Now just imagine a digital safe box for all your personal info, your browsing history, your health records, what you buy, and you and only you hold the key. I mean, in a world where these giant tech companies treat our data like it's their own product, this was a revolutionary idea. It was trying to deliver on one of the core promises of Web3, giving us back control.
And look, this wasn't just some pie-in-the-sky idea cooked up in a garage. This project had serious credibility right from day one. The founding team was packed with former Sony executives, real industry veterans. Their mission was ambitious, for sure, but it was crystal clear: to completely flip the data economy on its head, making our personal information our own private property, not just a product for companies to buy and sell.
So with a vision that strong, you have to ask, what went so horribly wrong? Well, now we have to talk about the numbers, the tokenomics. And this, my friends, is where you start to see the disaster taking shape.
And here it is, the first massive red flag: the tokenomics. Almost 99% of all Jasmy tokens are already in circulation. This means the market was absolutely flooded with an overwhelming supply right from the get-go, creating this constant, massive selling pressure that just kept pushing the price down, down, down. It set the stage for a total collapse.
So you've got this ticking time bomb, and then, boom, the perfect storm hits. It wasn't just one thing, it was a combination of disasters. First, that massive flood of tokens we just talked about. Second, a brutal wave of pure speculation created this huge bubble with nothing real underneath it to hold it up. And the final nail in the coffin, the great crypto market crash of 2022, which just dragged the entire sector down with it.
But this, right here at rock bottom, is where the story takes a really fascinating turn. Instead of just fading away, the team regrouped. They came up with a detailed comeback plan. So let's see how they plan to rise from these ashes.
Okay, so here's their three-step roadmap to recovery. First things first, stabilize the token supply so another collapse can't happen. Step 2, pivot. Focus on their home turf in Japan and specifically target industrial uses for the Internet of Things. And then, the grand finale, the big goal for late 2025, launch their very own Layer 2 mainnet. You could think of it as building their own dedicated high-speed highway for all their data and transactions, making everything way faster and more efficient.
Okay, so a plan on paper is one thing, right? But what about the facts? Is there any actual tangible proof that this rebirth is for real? And it turns out there is. For starters, they formed an alliance with an industrial giant like Panasonic. That's a huge stamp of approval. But the most critical piece of the puzzle is the plan for the token itself. On their future mainnet, the Jasmy token is going to be used as gas, which is basically the toll you have to pay to use their network's highway. This is a huge deal because it's designed to create real sustainable demand for the token that goes way beyond just pure speculation.
So, with all of this on the table, let's be fair. It's time to lay all the cards out and take a hard look at both the strengths Jasmy has right now and the very real risks it's still facing.
Okay, in the pros column, things are looking pretty solid. They've got a clear vision, they have major industrial partners, and, this is super important, a stabilized token supply. But In the cons column, there are some heavy hitters. That gigantic total supply is always going to cast a shadow. Plus, their success is 100% dependent on companies and people actually using their tech. And let's not forget, they are not alone. The competition out there is absolutely fierce.
You know, I think this quote just nails exactly where Jasmy is right now. There is no doubt they have been through hell, but it really does look like they're coming back with the right ingredients. A solid plan, real partners, and the infrastructure to back it up. But now, the only key, the single most important factor, is whether real-world adoption will actually happen.
And all of this, everything we've talked about, leads us to one final massive question that will ultimately define Jasmy's entire future.
Is this very Japan-centric approach, focusing on local partners, on a specific business culture, going to be the secret sauce that propels them to global success? Or is it going to become a barrier, the very thing that limits how far they can expand? Honestly, only time is going to tell.
And hey, just before we wrap up, the standard disclaimer. Please remember, this entire breakdown is just for educational and informational purposes. It is absolutely not, under any circumstances, investment advice. Any financial decision you make is your own, and you should always do your own research.